Hello everyone, it is me, Woodenrella Edward. I'm back for another video. Today I am joined by the epic Creative Master 5. Yeah. What?
Hi, I'm that guy who makes videos sometimes.
Yeah, he makes a series, a really good series
Oh,
called Thomas's Friends. You should go watch it.
thank you for the false advertisement.
That's what you get for coming on here. Okay,
Oh,
so today, we're gonna this is the first episode of a possibly new series we're doing called Thomas's TV Talk Show or something like that. I don't know.
woo, woo.
Yes. So creative. You want to explain how this works?
So, we together pick an episode of Thomas and Friends. You know, the classic children's series that we both are way too obsessed with.
Yes.
And we pick an episode that's a little lesser known, or maybe a little more obscure, or maybe gets a little too much hate. And we'll talk about it in this little podcasty format. And we've both prepared notes beforehand that we have not shown to each other. And we're going to discuss some really obscure and really fun episodes.
You couldn't have said it better than myself.
I'm sure you could have. But Eddie, what are we gonna talk about today for our first crew episode?
Well, our first episode of the show is Mind That Bike.
Whoa!
The hit classic.
I'm just gonna play the kazoo the whole time. So Mind That Bike is pretty cool.
A lot of people don't really like it.
It's a very strange one-off because it is a season finale that does not feel like a season finale.
Yeah, and
it's
from like a Chris Audrey book.
Yeah, it was released in season 4 back in I believe like it was 94.
Yeah, 94, 95.
Yeah, so it was the big wrap up to all of season 4, which is it's a bit of a hit or miss season. It's more hit than miss, but
yeah,
there's some weird outlier episodes. But putting aside that it is a weird season finale, we both believe that it is a really good episode that deserves a lot more attention.
Yeah, it's an epic. It's an interesting one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully you know what the episode. Hopefully you've seen it. If you
have not watched Mind That Bike, go look up one of the many Thomas uploads that will have the video there. Just one of those many channels.
Yeah. So let's get started. So
do you want to start with like a base description of the episode, and we'll go from there?
Let's
just jump into it.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think? What did you think of the episode?
My general thoughts.
Yes.
I really like this episode. I did not have it on a DVD as a kid. I didn't have a lot of season 4 growing up. But I just had the narrow gauge episodes. So I never knew that the story got adapted until I started watching Thomas episodes just through YouTube instead of DVDs.
Yeah, same.
And I didn't really think anything of it at the time, but now that I've gone back and rewatched it, I've really enjoyed it. It's just a really cute slice of lifestyle story.
Yeah.
Just this could happen any day on Sodor. It's not some big crash or some big chase. It's just like has the restraint to just be a simple story.
Yeah, it's very calming in a way.
Yeah, I think a lot of Chris's books are that way, where they're a little more simple. He of course can have some really big spectacle stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But I think it's really fun sometimes when it's just a simple little story.
Yeah. So let's get into some topics.
All right.
So the beginning of the episode, Birdie's oddly there.
Yeah, it's interesting. This is a very classic series-y thing. This is how Edward's exploit begins. It starts with Birdie, and then it loops around to another character.
Yeah, and I got a theory on that. Maybe they added Birdie into this so it would be like a better introduction to the new character using another
Yeah.
character that we already know.
Yes, I do. I do think that does work in a way. It also may have allowed them to use some stock footage to shorten production time a little bit.
Yeah, probably.
So
Didn't think of that.
yeah, but I really like this little intro, and
Yeah,
it's just a lot of fun.
it's oddly descriptive.
Yeah, and
It's like,
I think we should also address the fact that George Carlin and Michael Angelis's narration are both really good in this episode.
yeah, this is one of the episodes where both the narrations actually are great.
I do prefer George Carlin just
Yeah, me
because
too.
he is kind of that voice of season 4 for me. But Michael Angelis
Yeah,
does a really good job too.
yeah, I liked his Tom Tipper voice. Hey.
Yeah, I also really like the editing, and I like how it transitions from like Birdie. It starts with him, and then it transitions at one set, and Birdie stops, and you see the mail van go by, and then it follows the mail van.
Yeah, that's awesome. Also,
Also,
I found it interesting how the Scarlowy Railway theme is playing for him for Tom
yeah, that's
Tipper.
something that season 4 used a lot. Also, if you look at the shot where Tom Tipper passes Birdie, in the background you can see the decaying husk of Bulgy.
Yeah, that's the bridge, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
as well as what I believe is Trevor's orchard shed being reused as backsetting, which I think is kind of fun.
Yeah, yeah, and getting all the road vehicle stuff together. Yeah.
I think since we brought up the sets are always going to be really great, and they're really good in this. I especially love the lakeside set in this
Oh
season.
yeah. I
And
like it for some reason in this episode. I took a look at it more closely, and it feels like it looks like Lakeside, but they took away all the track.
yeah, I
And
am.
that I always thought that was like that there was the station and stuff there, but we don't actually see that in the episode.
Speaking of stations, Callan Station is the main set of this episode,
It's the
and
only main station.
it's the only main location here, and it's a really nice little set. I like the bustling little yard next to it, and I like how it's
Yeah,
sandwiched between that and then the little village of Callan.
yeah, it's awesome.
I also really think it's kind of fun how they also gave us the opportunity to see it at night, which they didn't really need to do that. They could have just kept it at
Yeah,
day the whole time, but they chose to do that. And season 4 and 5 especially have the best night lighting out of any of the
yeah, they
seasons.
do. They do. Very, very oddly mystical.
Yes.
And
Oh, you go
um,
first.
so when I found it really nice when they actually showed Tom Tipper with like another human, like
Yeah,
doing his job. I found that really interesting because they didn't have to do that,
yeah.
but that
They could have
shows
just
that
gotten us right into it. And
yeah, they could have just started at the station.
I
But
yeah,
also the transition to the station was very nice as well. Like to the
I
railway.
agree. One other thing I want to mention before we move on to the next part of the story is David Watkins and Nigel Permain's cinematography in this episode is just absolutely excellent.
Yeah.
Like every angle, every pan, it's just like it's perfect,
So
and
there's
I
so many
really enjoy it.
like tracking shots.
Yeah, I definitely like how dynamic the camera got around
Yeah.
season 3 and 4.
Yeah, especially it's like following the van through the valley. That
Yeah,
was
it's really
they did it
cool.
well.
But moving on to the next story, we
Okay.
see that every day Tom Tipper comes and visits Percy,
with his
and they'll
one
live as
mail
a
van
male.
and no brake
Yeah.
van.
Yes. And Percy, I like how it's established that Percy and Thomas have a relationship with Tom, but Percy's is a bit closer because Percy pulls the mail more regularly.
Yeah. That might be the episode that like cements the like one of
Oh,
the episodes
yeah.
that cements the whole Percy mail thing.
Yeah, I definitely think this is probably the reason that started it.
I mean, it's also that Thomas Percy and the mail train episode, but
Yeah.
this too. So we meet Tom. We get to know that Tom, Pipper, and Percy know each other, and then Tom is gone.
Yeah. We see Tom going around the island, and it has this really nice montage of him just driving around these beautiful sets.
Yeah.
And when it gets to the shot of Lakeside as he's driving around, and it has that pan with the reflection in the water, the music starts to change into a little more slower theme, and it's really nice.
Oh yeah, no, that was a good moment.
Also,
yeah.
A bunch of snow fell off my house.
Oh.
Also, the Michael Angelis wooden figure is in this episode.
Oh, wait, that's the passenger?
Yeah, the Mike. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the
Oh.
Michael Angelis figure.
Oh, I never know. I didn't realize that. I did find it a bit strange how the guy didn't have any eyebrows and hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we show Thomas and Percy coming into Callan Station.
Yes, and he's not there. Oh my god. Where's my main man?
So Percy and Thomas thank Tom Tipper for all the work that he's done, and it establishes the relationship that they have. And then immediately after that, we are shown the Sodor mail van in a just a quick establishing shot, and you can actually see that the Sodor mail van looks kind of rusted and a little more decrepit.
It's a little broken down.
Yeah, which I think is nice. Then you can see later on when he gets this new one that it's bright and shiny new, which shows that the van. I like how they show that because then it shows that the van is in need of repairs more often.
Yeah, and see, the thing is, most kids wouldn't have noticed that.
Yeah, it's just a little extra detail that they put in.
Yeah,
which
that's probably by David Minton.
So the next day, Percy puffs in to Callan Station, and there is a new mailman instead, and he had to carry all the bags by bike, and he doesn't say anything, and he leaves.
Yeah.
Which it's very strange because where's Tom Tipper? It's a
very strange scene.
Yes. So later, Tom Tipper comes back. It's not explained in this episode, but in the Railway Series book, it said that Tom Tipper was ill. And while he was gone, his mail van was sold, and now he's using a bike instead because the repairs costed too much.
That doesn't make much sense.
No, they don't really need to do that, so then the episode just kind of cuts it.
Yeah.
And just has that happen anyway. They don't need to waste time with extra exposition, so they just get rid of it.
Yeah, but like that like in the book that logic doesn't really make any sense. He was sick, so they sold his van.
Yeah, they just did it while he was gone.
Yeah. So then we have Tom with his bike, and he's complaining to Percy, and then Sir Topham Hatt has to talk to him.
Yeah, I never understood that specifically. That is one thing that I still don't get. Why does Sir Topham Hatt call him in?
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's more. I think it's more to like so that stuff is going bad for him. He's like, oh no, I'm gonna be late because Sir Topham Hatt's calling him. And this actually goes to one of my important things. As soon as Tom gets the bicycle, stuff goes bad for him. Like, and it's not just like the mail related stuff. It's also like, the Topham Hatt thing. So that could be like the bike could be like a symbol of bad luck.
So one other thing before we move on here. is a little detail that I noticed is that they showed James in the previous scene going by at the same time the day that he is now, so it just shows his route.
Yeah.
So they actually just have him going through it, and it shows like that he has a route going through the station, which I think is kind of fun.
Yeah.
It's just little stuff, little details like that.
You also see
are
Oliver
really cool.
going through.
Yeah, that's true. Because Callan is
times.
Callan's kind of in the GWR area,
The
in like
Little
the
Western, not the GWR.
little western area.
Yeah. It's on the. That's where he killed Scruffy.
Ah, you just in the
Yeah.
background you can see a gravestone with Scruffy's name on it.
It would have been hilarious if, like, while mine that bike was happening, all like Toad Stands By was just happening in the
Yeah,
background.
you just see in the background you just see Oliver pulling apart Scruffy.
But then you see the bike.
Also, I just want to point out that Callan set is different than this one because it's shot from a different angle. So they actually built the same set twice,
angles.
and it looks the same just from a different angle.
Yeah,
and that's really impressive to me.
I mean, it's probably that they built the Callan set and then filmed on it to like on the same. They filmed on for both episodes.
So, Tom is in a rush, so he doesn't realize that it's a bad idea to leave his bike laying against Percy's mail van, and he goes inside. And Percy notices this, but his driver wasn't paying attention. So then he starts going, and then Percy crushes the mail van underneath the mail. Or, not the mail van. He crushes the bike under the mail van.
Yeah, that's a. It's kind of funny that Percy knew.
Yeah.
He didn't really. He could have like shouted or something.
Yeah. He tries to warn his driver, but it just doesn't end up working out. So the mail van is crushed, and
the bike is crushed.
And now Tom is later than ever. So everything seems to be going badly, but then Percy comes in the next day, and we see that Tom has a new van.
A fresh new van.
Also, Oliver teleports in this scene. Because if you pay attention in the panning shot that establishes it, you see Oliver in the yard, way down by the water tower. And then in the next shot, Oliver passes Percy at the station platform, going the other way.
Yeah.
With a freight train that he didn't have. I just think that's kind of funny.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Also, going for 1 second, let's go back to the main crash scene. I like how Thomas was there, but he didn't say anything.
Yeah.
And he just had like a bunch of different facial expressions that like said it all.
Yeah.
And that was funny. He was like, Percy, you idiot.
So Tom has finally gotten his new van, and he's able to make his runs much faster again. And then I really love this last line where Percy says, "So I did help, but by accident." And I think that's just like a fun little way to end it off. And I think it's kind of cool where it's just kind of a happy accident where at first everything seems like it's going bad, but in the end it just worked out for the best. Yeah, which is pretty true to life. Sometimes stuff like that happens. At first you think, "Oh no, this thing's happening. This isn't supposed to happen," and then it ends up working out okay.
Yeah, that actually segues into one of my questions, which was did we see any like themes or like morals in this?
I don't know. Maybe it's time that we talk about the morals and themes of this. Our epic segment that I just came up with right now.
Yeah, no, we've had this in the work for 30 years.
Yes. So, starting us off, Eddie, did you pick up on any morals and themes that you might have seen?
I mean, I thought it really deep, but like maybe actions have consequences, but like not always bad consequences.
Yeah, all right. That's been this segment of checking out the morals and themes. Tune in next time for another segment.
Yeah. Wait. Did you get anything?
I got nothing. Oh. So I'm playing this segment out. I'm gonna the kazoo stopped working. So
And that's a wrap on
some other notes. Let's go into some quick other notes before this ends. The sound design is really good in this episode. I just want to bring that up real quick. And specifically, I want to bring up that the bite crunch sounds really gnarly when you play it back. It sounds really rough. And James has the funny season 4 whistle that sounds really weird.
Yeah. I like how Tom. What was the color? Is it? I was thinking about it, and the different postman. I'm probably thinking about this way too deeply. It was a different postman. He was wearing like a green shirt.
Yeah.
And like green represents greed or something.
Yeah.
And what does blue represent?
Something else.
Yeah. So I was just thinking maybe
there's some deeper meaning.
Yeah.
Or David just reused a figure from something else.
Yeah, or they just wanted to make it look like it's not Tom.
Yeah. I like how the ambient Scarloey theme comes back at the end, but it's slightly grinder sounding to kind of cap off the episode.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, happy ending.
Yeah. I like how it starts the episode and it ends it off.
I feel like this episode would have... Why did they choose Callan? Is my question.
Yeah, it's an interesting location.
Wouldn't Ellsbridge have made so much more sense?
Yeah, that would have worked too.
Actually, no, it's because Callan has like a parking lot.
Oh yeah, it does have a parking lot. So yeah, I guess that would be the reason why. Yeah. But then again, they show they show another station that's like Toyorek, I think, and that has a parking lot.
Oh yeah, they could have used Toyorek as well. No, but then they wouldn't have had like multiple engines.
Yeah, I think maybe that's it. They wanted to have other background characters.
Yeah, this episode, it's all like in the book, there's literally no one else there.
Yeah, there is no one else.
It's at Farquhar, and there's like nobody there.
Yeah, and then everyone crowds around to look at the bike, and they're like, "Oh no, that's the bike. It's broken.
Take a picture."
So it's time for another really quick segment that I just invented. So here we go. Welcome to Wiki Trivia Time, I combed through the Wiki Trivia section to just point out some really cool did you know facts that you might use on a trivia night at some point.
Okay, let's hear it.
This is the last Christopher Audrey book adaptation. It is the last narrated episode by George Carlin. It's the last time he narrated an episode. This is the last RWS adaptation, all the way till season 20. Tom never appears again until season 18 and Letters to Santa in the CGI.
Oh, interesting.
So those are some fun wiki facts that you will never need. So I'm going to play out this segment as well.
It's fun. That was terrible.
Yeah.
I find it funny how in the last episode of like the Railway series adaptations they introduced a new character.
Yeah.
Like it's so funny. It's so this episode is like oddly quirky.
Yeah, it's just something a little different. It's something a little smaller. I really like these kinds of episodes. Something like Thomas Percy and the Coal, which is like another episode that's it's not huge, but there's like stuff. It's just like a little like, oh, this could happen at any day on Sodor. Like it's something you can place anywhere in your headcanon timeline. Like it doesn't really matter where it goes.
This could be like an annual story.
Yeah. It's just like fun little simple stories.
And stuff even after they like expanded slightly upon it with the birdie thing.
Yeah.
It still worked.
So, I'm down to just one note left that I want to bring up. I want to bring up one last thing in my main
Okay.
notes, and it's that the opening theme is what Victor Tanzig uses in all of his videos, and I watched the episode and I just started profusely laughing when it started.
Wait,
That's my last note.
Wait.
The opening theme in the episode is a theme that Victor Tanzig uses all the time, and I just heard that and I quit laughing.
Wait. Now I have to.
The ambient Skarloey theme, he uses it all the time.
Okay, so
I have not watched season 4 in a while, and I just heard that, and I just thought, oh, that's the theme Victor Tanzig uses. But my real last note, before you get to your last notes, is I want to bring up just one last thing, and I'm scrolling down. I'm stalling for time. So I think this episode is a really fun finale, and I just think it's unfortunate that it's kind of relegated to being the what finale, because like every other season has like the big Christmas episode or like something a little bigger.
You just got me thinking. This episode, the reason this episode is so disliked is because of its placement.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
If this and Pay Pots and Queens switched places, then this episode would probably just be a little more like chill in terms of like how people like it.
Yeah, it should not be a finale.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe there was a different plan.
Yeah.
Maybe this was supposed to be in the beginning of season 4.
But honestly, I don't think it being in the finale spot really takes away from how good the episode is, and I think it's a lot of fun.
Also, yeah, we shouldn't consider it as a finale.
Yeah.
Because, like, did you watch the episodes of season 4, like, in order?
Not till, like, when I started watching them on YouTube.
Yeah, so, like, most people, they didn't actually watch them in the order they were released, so there really is no finale.
Yeah. There are episodes that definitely feel like they're the finale. Like, the Christmas episodes do feel like finales, but...
Yeah. So what would the finale for season 4 be?
Honestly...
It might be Sleeping Beauty.
Honestly, that does kind of work as a final bit.
Yeah.
Or honestly, Gallinal Engine would be a really good finale.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. With the ending of that, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's all we gotta say.
That's all we got. Yeah.
Mind that bike, guys.
Yeah. If you guys enjoyed this this video, subscribe for more.
Yeah. And subscribe to Creative Master 5. Link in the left or the up or the down or the right. I don't know.
Yeah. Center.
Yeah, just have a good day. I've been Wooden Railway Edward.
And I have been Creative Master 5.
And we'll see you on the next one. Bye.